Thank you for joining us today for the virtual Sunday service with the Center for Creative Living. CCL, a charter of the Universal Church of the Master, has served and supported the spiritual needs of its community here in the Bay Area for over 20 years.
Welcome, and before I forget, this is a glorious day because it's Joan Stutes' birthday, and so yay! And so we, of course, we want to sing our very glorious birthday song to her. And what color beads would you like for your birthday?
Oh, I'll take purple.
Oh, okay, yes. You may. If we have purple, yes. We'll see. Purple has been one of the favorite colors of most people, so let's see if we have purple. We've got red, green, white. I'm not sure.
I see one in there.
La da da. There's a pink. Here's a purple. Thank you, Mary. Yeah, there we go.
Mary can scope out purple. She's a purple.
Yeah, and I'll give you that. And thank you for reminding me that I don't have a stole on. And Corky, could you come find my stole? You think? I don't know what happened. I cleaned this out last week. How many of you have ever done that? You knew where everything was until you cleaned?
Did you take it to the time?
No, it's in here somewhere. No, Cork, it's here. It's here somewhere. Thank you. Thank you. For those of you who don't know, this is my partner, wife for the last 40 years, Reverend Corky. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you folks on Zoom. We certainly appreciate having you here. We're here celebrating Joan's, can I tell them how old?
Sure.
She is 89 today. Yeah, and we are so glad. Thank you, baby. Yeah, isn't that incredible? I know. Wait a minute. So, anybody have any announcements that they would like to make?
We have to sing to her.
Well, we have to sing to her, but I was waiting because I saw people coming in. So I was waiting for just a minute. Yes, Bryce?
I survived the stroke.
Yay! And a lot of prayers went out for you, Bryce. We kept praying the minute that your lovely wife told us that what had happened. And so you got prayers both online and in person, where we were praying for you. So glad to see you here.
Thank you all for praying for me.
Yeah. And you look so rugged. You look like a pirate with that.
Well, it's better than the alternative of having an eye that isn't tracked with the other eye.
Okay.
That's too weird to most people to leave the public with. Also, it's really hard to walk with it, so you can't focus.
Yeah, and I think we have some announcements about the upcoming conference and about the pastoral class.
Yes.
Please come on up here, Reverend Janet.
All righty. And now I lost my little handouts.
There's that kind of day.
All righty.
Christine, did you get a program?
So I just want to acknowledge that I want each and every one of you to put May 19th on your calendar and spend the whole day with us. So our theme is Spirit-Empowered Growth. Isn't that a wonderful theme? Mm-hmm. And we are just going to be exploring all of the ways that we can, in a multidimensional way, grow into our fullness, utilizing the tools that we have around us. And we're so excited to have Reverend Scout Bartlett. He will be our morning speaker. And then we have Reverend Gary Springfield, who has done a lot of work with meditation and self-evolvement. He will be speaking in the afternoon. He's our keynote speaker. We will have a silent auction. We have raffle tickets. We're going to have lunch. We're going to have readers and healers. So make it a whole day. Just take a whole day to be together in community with each other. And my friends, we have the flyer right here. So right where Mr. John is sitting, help yourself to a flyer and put it on your calendar. It's going to be an amazing day. We can feel the energy building towards it. And our UCM educational classes are presenting dimensions of pastoral counseling, and I have the privilege of assisting Reverend Dr. Mary Gary, who has actually done this class before, but she and I are combining our resources and efforts and experiences. And you can join us in person. We would love that. It's going to be at the UCM office, and the date for that is April the 2nd. And I think it's an appropriate day to have it right after April 1st, when all the energy gets stirred up, right? April Fool's Day. I love it. And so what happens, my friends, is we're going to really take a look at how we can be that caring presence. How can we be that for people in our community and for each other? And how can we take care of ourselves as we're doing this? Now, I want to say that each and every one of you here is a caring presence in your life, or you probably wouldn't even be here. So this is how to take care of yourself when you are being a caring presence. And also to realize that there's not a lot we have to do to fix it, but what we have to do is bring our presence there and just be there. And so we're going to explore that, and please come and join us, because the more people, the more wisdom sharing we're going to do. And if you can't...
So I signed up, the sign-ups are available already, and I signed up. So the rest, I encourage the rest of you to go online and sign up.
Thank you, Joan. And Reverend Joan is our speaker, so that's a heavy hit right there, okay? She's telling you to do it, so listen to her. All right? And I just want you to know that these are ways that we can come together in community, and be with each other, either in person or via Zoom. If you can't be here in person, we can be there in either way. But I encourage you, we need community now. We need to offer each other that spirit-empowered growth. So thank you so much for each and every one of you, and I encourage you to come. Thank you.
Good, thank you. Okay, anybody else have any announcements they'd like to make? Jeannie, I'm glad you're back, looking good. It's great to have you here.
Yes.
We prayed for your surgery. We've been doing a lot of prayer.
That's the word.
Both of them. Prayer and good new word. And thank you so much for getting better. We appreciate that, and I know you do.
I appreciated your prayers.
Okay, so thank you so much. Anybody else have any announcements they'd like to make? This is an open time where we really want to acknowledge all of you here and for what you've been going through. Yes, Ruth, Minister Ruth.
Next month, short, rude. Just kidding, not really rude.
There she is.
Yo.
She is helping us so much with the conference, by the way, this week.
We're not going to talk about that. I'm just a little side character over there. Anyway, next month, it says 11/11 over here on the clock. On the first 3 Saturdays of April, at a friend's house, I am teaching Reiki classes, and it's donation-based, and each level is only $100. That is a suggested donation. So, just want to let you know. So if you're interested in learning Reiki level 1, 2, and 3, come and talk to me.
I'd like me to advertise that. Give me the script. Give me the
Sure.
words. Blurb.
Okay.
The blurb. Thank you.
I will do the blurb thing.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I just want to offer that Reiki is an amazing healing tool. Amazing healing tool. I'm a Reiki 2, but Ruth Renat is Reiki 3. So she's a Reiki master who can certify us. It's an amazing process.
Otherwise, I wouldn't be teaching the class.
Thank you.
Great, thank you so very much.
I just have a brief
Oh, definitely. Brianna, you snuck up.
snicker. So I work at a place with very creative people now, which I'm all excited about. And one of my colleagues, she studied at the Tamalpa Institute, dance therapy, and she runs one of those free boogie kind of things, a barefoot boogie, creative dance at the Masonic Lodge in Mountain View, like off of Castro Street on Monday nights. And her name is Donna Carroll, Carroll. I think Donna, Donna. And if you want to go, you could just Google her name and get her website. I can't go because I'm working on Monday nights, but I believe it's so healing to people who have that opportunity to express themselves creatively. And I know she's awesome. She's really good. I work with her and doing creative classes where I work. So anyway, I wanted you to know about something very, very wonderful.
Thank you. Yeah, we appreciate that. Thank you very much. One of these days, you were going to have to come up here, Eileen, and talk about Qigong. We'd like to hear about that also. So many of the people who attend here wear more than one hat. Okay, I'm just the one that wears a hat all the time. But of the things that they do, and please let us know what it is. And then Corky can also put it in our, this goes out to how many? 800 and some odd amount of people. This is a good way for you to advertise. So let us know what it is you're doing so we can put it into the CCL Insights that goes out once a week. That way, people can find you when they're wondering who they can go to. They'll see your name and it'll give you some exposure. And it's a great thing to be doing. We really do appreciate it. Yes?
I forgot. I apologize. I forgot one more thing to announce, and that is our speaker series, which is on the second week of April, the second Tuesday in April, and we're having Reverend Arlene Phelan, who is one of the elders of our church. She's going to be talking about interdimensional beings and interdimensional processes. So please join us for that. And it's all on Zoom. It's from 6 to 8 p.m. And just go to the UCM website.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Jen. And, okay, everybody's done with announcements? Are we good with that? All righty.
So we're going to sing for her, right?
Well, we are. I saw more people come in, and we wanted to wait for that. So could you please stand up, birthday girl? And we're going to sing our wonderful birthday song. Are you ready? Well, by the time you get up here, we'll be done. Because it's so short here. I am ready. Okay, to Joan. This is your birthday song. It isn't very long. Yay! Happy birthday! Oh, we really do appreciate having you here. We're going to hear more later. And at this point in time, are you going to join me on your with your wonderful guitar? I'd like you all to take whatever's on your lap and just put it on the floor beside you. And put your feet flat on the floor. And take a nice deep breath. And you can either close your eyes or keep them open, whatever is more relaxing for you. This is Palm Sunday. And I want you to picture, this is during Passover, when Jesus came in riding on a donkey into Jerusalem. And he was hailed as a victor. He was hailed triumphantly with people spreading palm fronds all in front of it, he and his entourage. It was a day of rejoicing. The Messiah had come in. Some saw Jesus as Messiah, some saw him as an interloper, and some saw him as someone coming to ruin the politics of the day. What I want you to do is be an observer of this and realize there were so many people there to feast for the Passover. And we're talking about thousands of people all around, milling around. And as you feel that energy, just totally relax so you can become an observer. And as you observe this, you realize that there were people of every color skin in every religion, whether they were Hindu or Zoroaster, or many of them still followed the teachings of the goddess. And this was a new prophet who was arriving on the scene. as we see this happening, just feel that energy. It was said that Jesus' light, you could see it for at least a mile away. Feel the glow of an energetic being shining on you. Some people feel this was a prophet, some feel this is a son of God, some people feel it is part of God. Whatever your feelings, know they are part of you, and they're very special for us. Feel a part of that assemblage, the jostling, the energy, the people, the smell of all of this going on, and the sound was deafening. And for those of you who want to go back and read the Psalms and find out what it says, and reevaluate what was going on. This was history in the making, and today we honor it. And we honor it with you going deep within and picturing the happenings and how they affect your life now. How were you affected by a new person coming on the planet who teaches love, compassion, joy, and tranquility? Feel that energy as you listen to the wonderful Reverend Janet Childs.
Oh, we journey to the land where we meet, and we gather in the circle and we greet the new day, we greet the new way that we can be. We are walking into community, we are breathing in the mystery, we're holding close to each other, and we are dreaming our history, and we dance, dance, dance in celebration, and we sing, sing, sing in celebration. Our hearts are opening, our minds are flying free, our soul is unfolding, our dream to be all we can be, and we're dancing, dancing in the circle. Oh, we're dancing, holding each other's hands, and our hearts are open wide. Ooh, opening wide. Ooh, opening wide, and we shine with the love that is our birthright. We all can be in the river of love, and as we bathe our lives in this promise, we know we feel the strength of our gentleness, and bodies, hearts, minds, and souls. And we dance, dance, dance in celebration of love. And we sing, sing, sing the truth of our souls as we are in community, in unity. We are one in community, in unity, and our hearts are open, and we stand together. Oh, we are forever in this moment. We are all that we can be in this universe. We are dancing free. We are dancing and singing and holding each other's hand, and we are living and breathing across this land, and we are here. We are love. We are all that we can be. Together we walk to the center of our spiritual wisdom, and it is love. It is love, and we dance in a circle of love.
Deep breath and hold that wonderful celebratory energy that our Reverend Janet shared with us. And when you open your eyes, come on back, and thank you so very much. Next Sunday is Easter Sunday, and when I gave Corky this title of Jesus and the Bunny, she just cracked up. And she's, I like that, Jesus and the Bunny. Well, I'm going to be talking about not just why we're celebrating Easter, but why spring has been celebrated in various religions. All over the world, this is a time of celebration. Whatever religion you have been following, this is a time of celebration. And we're going to be talking about Oster, the goddess Oster, and why we have Easter. And talk about why the egg is important and what that means. And so we'd love to have you here. And if you have any Easter eggs you want to share with us, bring them in. What the heck? We'll be having a wonderful get-together. And it sounds like it's going to be fun. I don't think any bunny's going to be hiding eggs, so you're not going to have to put on knee pads to look around to see if you can find any eggs or anything like that. But it should be a fun day. We'd love to have you here. The other thing that I want to talk about is that we like to have various people speak. So if you have something you would like to talk about, something that comes from your heart that you feel you would like to share, talk to Corky. She'll give you a date and a time. And if you've never talked in public before, doesn't bother us at all. Okay? But we're going to give you a sheet I have now of how you can prepare to give a talk. So if you're going to be doing a talk, I will hand you a sheet. Because sometimes it's the first time anyone's ever talked. And we want them, you need to outline a talk when you give it. And I've got some things that I put down now, so for when people want to give a talk, they'll go, oh, that's what I need to do. I need to focus on this, or I need to focus on that. So it's going to be very interesting to have that going on. The other thing that I want to talk about is that the summer is coming, not too long, okay? One of these days it's going to start raining, and I'm going to be excited about that. I'm not used to the rain. I come from the desert, and so every time I look out and it's raining, I go, oh, what's that? No, what's that? It just always amazed me that it just doesn't stop. It just keeps raining. Anybody else have that feeling that this is the rainiest time you can remember? It just seems to just keep, you just think, okay, we're done for this year. And then you look out and it's raining again. And for a while it was depressing for me because I wasn't used to it. And then I looked at all the green hills as we traveled down the center of California this last weekend. All the hills are green and they look gorgeous. And I went, that's what's happening. We are rejuvenating the planet here in California, at least, where we're getting a rejuvenation through the rain. So instead of going, oh darn, it's raining, I've changed my tune to, oh yay, it's raining. I can go with that, and that feels really good. Corky, do we need somebody to speak on the 7th?
Yes.
Okay. So if any of you want to give a talk, let me know. Yes.
Eileen.
I got a subject I could talk about, a brief talk.
Okay, well, Eileen, I think her hand went up first.
Okay, well, then I can't do it. Sorry.
So,
Because then we have the third week.
then you have the third week.
Which is, we need somebody, what do you want?
Can we come on? Just send us a blurb. Okay, and Eileen, just send us a blurb.
Okay,
Yeah,
Okay.
Put me down for that and give me anything you need for material for it.
yes, sir.
Okay, good.
I would be glad to speak. So,
Awesome.
Okay,
Thank you.
well, then,
And it takes care of April. Now, let's see, May.
and that's great because that'll be right before the conference coming up, Jan. So that'll be good. Fantastic. Because each one of you has a talk inside, something you would like to discuss, something you would like to say. And we want to hear it because that's what this church is all about. Is
I'm down for May.
you want to be down for May?
Yeah, one Sunday in May.
Okay, Dr. Ms. Corky. So this opening it up, a service where I'm not the only one talking. I have things I'm going to be discussing, but sometimes you're not going to agree with me. And then what do? You don't trip me as I'm going outside and yell in my ear. You decide I'm going to talk. Please don't trip me. I don't bounce. And so this, having other people talk and share, is a way we can see how you're growing and where you're going and what you're doing, and it feels really good. We have a rumor that there's going to be birthday cake later on after service, and so that's pretty exciting. So stick around, have a piece of birthday cake, and celebrate Joan's birthday. We'd love for you to be doing that. Okay. The other thing that I want to talk about with the conference, Ruth, I got a call from Mary, and she wanted to know who did readings. And I said, you might talk to Ruth about readings or massage. You might talk to Jeannie about readings. You might talk to Joan about reading. I just threw you all under the bus. I said, I think Christine does readings also, so please get a hold of her. So all of you have something being said about it. Well, before you even think about what would I do there, think about the fact of giving some kind of certificate that lets people buy some of your time, whether it's massage, whether it's astrology, whether it's things that you're doing when healing, okay? Let people know who you are by putting a gift certificate into the auction, in a silent auction, and that way people will find out who you are, and it's a great way to advertise. So we want to start getting that energy going for the conference, okay? The other thing that I wanted to talk about is that each one of you has a few friends, I'm sure. I know Joan, she has hundreds of friends. And don't be afraid to say, why don't you come on Sunday and see what it's about? You know, like our wonderful, Jen, where did you find out about us? Through the DeFrank? Yeah, yes. Welcome. We have 2 new people. They're not little. They're people of an age, which is perfect. But they came here because they heard about us through Billy DeFrank. And so just know that everybody is welcome. And whatever your background, whatever your religion is, it's fine. In fact, we'd like to learn more about it and find out what do you believe? Who are you? Because all of us are part of the Creator. However we look at it, that's who we are. So being able to have a chance to look at other religions through other people's eyes is a great way for us to become more knowledgeable about what's going on out there. So just think about that. All right, well, Joan, you're going to have more time than I thought. Oh, this is great, yeah. And so are you ready to welcome our birthday speaker? Yay, Joan! What? Yes.
Well, I was supposed to give this, I originally planned to give this talk in February, and I've been prepared since then. And here it is, plopped down on my birthday. But thank you for that kind introduction, Dottie. And so today we're going to talk about change, planned change, and change that drops out of the sky. And I'm going to pick up where Janet left off in her beautiful song. Do you know that that all just comes to Janet? Do you know that she doesn't write that down ahead of time? Or afterwards, she just starts playing and it flows through her, and it's always so beautiful and so meaningful. But she was celebrating this Palm Sunday, this exuberant celebration of the life of Jesus, of his purpose, and he had arrived. And this was a planned celebration. A lot of the bigness of it was spontaneous, but it was planned, and yet things went wrong, didn't they? Yeah, things went wrong, and we'll be talking about that next Sunday. But after the crucifixion, after the unhappy ending, the disciples spread. Some of them denied Jesus, and they went away. And then after a time, they regrouped. And they said, wait a minute, what are we going to do? They said, well, Jesus healed the sick and made the blind to see and taught us about God being within us. And he said, we could do that too. Do you remember that? We could do that too. Do you remember him telling us that? And they got together and started talking. And my favorite book in the Bible is the Acts, where they get together and they say, he did it, so we can do it. Hallelujah. Yeah, hallelujah. And they got busy and did, if you want to read something inspirational ever, they were just running around healing the sick and making the blind to see and having all kinds of miracles all day, every day. And it was a wonderful outcome. So this was planned change. They planned to have Jesus in Jerusalem that day, but then the unexpected happened. So then they went through a period of regrouping, and then they said, okay, let's move forward. So, as you know, I'm turning 89 today. I don't know how that happened. It's just amazing to me. And somehow 89 is impacting me differently than all the other 70s and 80s. But today is the last day on my driver's license. Yeah, and I made a decision last year when I had my right hip surgery, and I knew I'd have a period of not being able to drive, that it's probably a good time to give up driving. Partly is my vision, and partly is what I saw didn't make sense in time. So there were some dicey moments, and I just thought, I think it's time to let that part of my life go. So this has been kind of a planned thing. And of course, Jeremy, my grandson, is with me here today, and he drives me places, and my daughters drive me, and I live in a period of Lyft and Uber, which is just absolutely wonderful. The nice young people that I meet in Lyft is just astonishing. They're so sweet and so kind. A lot of them have water in the car for me and different things. So this was a planned change, again, that I've had to work through. And I know you've had planned changes that you've had to work through. Now, when I was in 9th grade, my family decided that having 4 kids, including 2 teenagers in 1 bedroom in our little boxcar house in the rural area was not appropriate anymore. So we had to move into town, into Grandma's house. And the first thing that had to happen is the lath and plaster had to come down, had to have new electrical wiring and new wallboard. So that summer, before I began my high school, Jimmy, my brother 2 years younger than me, spent the summer beating down lath and plaster and hauling it out to the bin to be hauled away. And then my dad strung new electrical wiring, and we moved in, and we got our own bedroom. Yay! We were so excited. But it was a long, hot summer in Redlands, which is close to Lancaster, Southern California, where it's much warmer than it is here. But this was a planned change. So that first day of my high school, my mom decided to go to work. Mom had never worked before, and she went to work in the school cafeteria in the junior high, and she met all Jimmy's friends, and when Jimmy got in trouble, she knew about it before Jimmy did almost. And he wasn't very excited about her going to work there. But this was planned change. And all of a sudden, my grandmother's house was on a busy street, and we ended up being 2 blocks from a major freeway where the trucks went by and shifted gears. So it was a very different environment, but we slowly adapted. Then the first day of my senior year in high school, more change came. My mom decided to work at the high school now because my brother was now a sophomore, and he was a football hero. Even though he was a sophomore, he was on the varsity team, just making all those tackles and being a hero. And I was starting my senior year and, of course, preparing for college. I didn't quite know how I was going to go to college, but that was my goal. And on that first day of my senior year in high school, we were sitting in the dining room discussing our day. My mom was in the high school cafeteria. Jim was a football hero. My first day of senior year, the phone rang. And my mom answered and said, "Joan, it's for you." And I said, "Okay." I took it, and "Joan, this is Carolyn. Did you hear about Jerry?" I said, "No, what happened to Jerry?" "Well, some drunk sailors ran him down out by Lancaster on those curvy roads and hilly roads, and he died." I said, "He's dead?" And she said, "Yes, he's dead." So I put the phone down. Jerry and I had dated in my sophomore year, and I was the girl that met him as he came off the football field and kissed him. All sweaty and dirty and smelly. And everyone in school knew, of course, that I had dated him. We had drifted apart. But that summer, before my senior year in high school, we had dated a couple of times, and he had not succeeded in his college football, and he was back in town, and he had a job. And he said, "Joan, why don't we get married?" And I said, "Well, I really want to go to college." And he said, "Well, you can go to this little junior college out in the middle of the desert." And I said, "Well, I don't think so." So we had had those few dates in the summer before this happened, and then he was gone, and he was dead. He was gone forever. Definitely unexpected change dropped into my life. Did any of you have friends in high school who passed away? Yeah, maybe some of you.
I did. My whole senior border control was killed in a traffic accident out between Lancaster and Mojave. We lost 4 people all in one fell swoop.
Yeah, that area is really known for
If
its
you don't know
accidents.
this area, you'd never drive less than 80 because it's absolutely flat and straight, and somebody pulls out in a slow-moving tractor, and that's the end of it.
Yeah. It was tough, and of course everybody knew that I had dated Jerry, so I became the widow. And on top of that, I became Jimmy's sister, something that really stuck in my craw. I like to be Joan, not Jimmy's sister. So I had a tough time that year, that beginning of my senior year. About 6 weeks passed, and Johnny Banks came back from his Navy training and asked me out, and we dated, and he asked me to marry him. I said, but I want to go to college. He said, well, we'll make that happen. So in thinking about it, if I married him, I was going to get away from Jimmy, get away from the busy street, my bedroom, my hot bedroom on the busy street, and I was going to have an opportunity for college. And so in June, 2 weeks after graduation, Johnny and I got married, and we stayed married for 17 years. And we both graduated from San Diego State 4 years after graduation, after I graduated. But you see that change that dropped out of the sky changed a lot of things. Would I have married Johnny Banks? Would I have gone to San Diego? I don't know. A lot of the kids stayed local and went to the local junior college, and honestly, that's probably what I would have done. But I was so eager to get away from being Jerry's widow, sort of, and Jimmy's sister, sort of, that I wanted out, and so that I made those decisions. And so I have my 2 daughters are from that marriage, and we had an amazing time. He became a CPA, amazingly enough, and had a good career as a CPA. And I became a teacher, realtor, whatever, reverend, multitasking. But you see these things drop out of the sky. How do you deal with them? How did I deal with that? Hey, I went to class. I kept getting a good grade so that I could qualify for college, however it happened. And, right now, we're at a point where there's a lot of feelings of being unsettled. We're on the brink of change somehow. And a lot of it is not planned out. We don't know how it's planned out. Some of it's planned. There is an election. We know that that's planned out. But there's a lot of things happening. And it seems like there's a lot of instability right now. How do we deal with that on a personal level? Well, it's just like I've dealt with my driver's license. I could not continue driving, so I had to make some adjustments. And I began experimenting with Lyft and asking Jeremy to help me more. So these little adjustments that you go through as life changes, but it's staying true to who you are and what your goals are. You see, I could have fallen apart when Jerry died and laid in bed and starved and not slept and ruined my grades and ruined my health. But I didn't do that. I got up every morning and went to school and walked through the halls reluctantly. And that's the way we get through these things. What did the disciples do after their hero was taken from them? They went out, they regrouped. So there's this regrouping process that's so important. As we get older, and I have news for you, we're all getting older. As we get older, there's a lot of regrouping that just has to go on. You know, how do you keep from being a burden to your family? You stay healthy. How do I become significant have a life of significance? You become involved. That's how I ended up with this, you know. I was out of real estate and I needed a new passion, a new way of helping the world be a better place. So you make these adjustments as you go forward. And I'm sure that I have 10 minutes left.
Look at your.
Oh, I don't know. I have 10 minutes. What does that mean? I told you I didn't know. Look at that. 11:49.
And we close at 5 minutes to 11.
Okay, I have 5 minutes. I have 5 minutes left. So I want to open up to questions or comments. Have you had a big change that you've had to adapt to, and how did you adapt? You know, yeah.
When my grandmother died, and which was kind of a weird thing because I thought she was my mother, and then I found out that my sister was my mother instead of being anyway. So that all happened at once, and then I had to move out of Bakersfield and come here where she lived, and you know, and I was a junior in high school, and so it was, you know, how do you do it? Oh, hi. Okay, and so I had to. You just have to. And then, I mean, and it was really, you know, we fill out the forms. Well, my mother's dead. No, your mother's sitting right next to you. You know? It's like, you know, it's like, well, you know, give me some time to adjust to that. I did, and I eventually did, and you know, it was fine. But it's weird to like everything change. You know, your relationship with everybody in your life.
Yeah.
But, you know, you go on.
You make each day, you commit to it being a success for that day and moving forward. So who else has had an adjustment to make? An adjustment? Yes. Christine?
Oh.
Bryce?
Now I'm adjusting again. Had a lot of adjustments, had a lot of changes, had a lot of times where things went like sideways or 180. And it's always tough to try to change it.
Yeah.
When I went into when I got out of the Army, I'm just going to start there, back in '96, I had to adjust to it and couldn't figure out what to do. And one day my dad called up and said, I got a tech writing job for you. Really? Yeah, $30 an hour. Oh, okay. So instead of collecting unemployment for a year, living in Oregon with my mother, and just laying on the couch like I planned, while I figured things out, I went down south to the Bay Area, and within 3 weeks after getting out of the Army, and started working. And been doing that, did that career for 27 years. You know, there's a change. There's changes when I had to get a divorce shortly after that. Well, you know, that was a change. Then I got changing, you know, locations, changing people I knew, changing environments. Yeah, then I got married. That was a big change. Got it, you know, for a second time, and it worked out pretty good so far. Then there's this change. All of a sudden, I can't drive. I have trouble concentrating and doing my writing, and I have problems, you know, basically seeing straight, and I have to adjust to everything. So all over again, I have to learn new skills and how to do things very simple before, and now very complicated.
So we all, as we go through life, we have these adjustments that either either planned, like moving to my grandmother's house was, and gradual, and you have time to work into it, or they plop into your life, and then you have to remember who you are, what your skills are, and how to stay on that path so that you have a good future. I was fortunate in that I had a wonderful future in so many ways. I did graduate from college. I do have two daughters. Margie's bringing the cake today, I think. And I have 4 wonderful grandchildren. So as you go forward, you just have to stay on course and remember that in being in the spiritual community, you're not only do you have your rational mind of staying on course, I have to cook dinner, I have to wash dishes, I have to wash the clothes. Not only this rational mind and doing things, but it's also the spiritual mind of inviting spirit into your life to show them the way. And that's what we do so well here at the Center for Creative Living. That's it.
Oh, well, thank you. Now, Mary is going to pass the basket, and you were going to read what you wrote for us when we passed the basket.
Yes, and I'm going to put on my right glasses so I can read it. Are you ready to join me with this?
Right.
Yes.
I give thanks for my spiritual community. I live in a world of freedom and abundance. I am happy to support my spiritual community. Thank you, Universal Spirit, for your love and support.
And
So it is.
Okay. Thank you so much, Joan. And since I've still got you up here, do you want to do the closing prayer?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
I can do
Thank you so
closing.
much.
I can do closing prayer.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, let's wait until Mary comes back with the basket. And for those of you who are going through a time when money's a little bit scarce, just bless the basket. We have been helping a lot of people lately with your donations. So I want to thank you so very much for being here and helping us support the folks that are in need. And we want you all to know how much we appreciate this. It's wonderful, okay? And I realize that there are little prayer requests that you can fill out. And when you fill it out, it goes into this little earthen bowl up here that was handmade by a member of our community. And then they get prayed on. So it keeps going. Your prayers keep going. You put them out there, and then we take and pray for you for whatever's going on. So if you haven't seen our little bowl, it's just right here. Oh, thank you, Mary. Hey, that is great. Okay, my dear.
Okay, let's join together in quietness and individuality, but joining in the Spirit, the universal Spirit that is always available to us, always available, this special Spirit that we can tune into all day, every day. As we go into this week of joyous celebration, of spring, of rain, of Easter, let's remember that we do live in a world of freedom and abundance, that we live in a world of love from our friends, our family, and planet Earth as a whole. Earth loves us by giving us flowers, by giving us rain, by giving us all the beautiful sunsets and sunrises. Yes, Earth loves us daily, embraces us in the beauty and the wonder that surrounds us. So as we move into this week, we celebrate Earth. We celebrate a future that is good for Earth, good for us, and good for our country, good for all. What we want and hope and pray for is things being good for all. And so it is.
And so it is.
Amen.
Thank you so very much, Joan. Thank you. And Ed, do we have people on Zoom?
This is a kick. Indeed, we do, Dottie. Back to
Okay.
you. And we have Annie and Christine, Diane, Janice, Laura, and we have Lisa, Patty, Joyce, and Lolly. We have Sky and Stephen. Is it Rydell or Riddle?
Riddle.
Riddle. Okay. So we have there, and summarizing, we had a lot of happy birthdays to Joan. And from, is it Stephen or
Stephen.
Stephen with the PH? Okay. Doing what you need to do reluctantly. I focus on joy so much I forget the value of reluctance. Thank you, Joan. From PJ and Lolly, wonderful service. Thank you, Dottie and Janet, for the beautiful meditation and song. Thank you, Joan, for the inspiring talk. From Sky, I love you, Mama Boone. You, all in caps. I assume that means something special for you. And from Lisa, very important topic, Joan. Thank you for your vulnerable share.
Thank you. Well, thank you for all the people who are listening and who are viewing us. We really do appreciate it. That's wonderful. And guess what? Here comes the cake. Yes. Yeah, the cake has arrived. And we have coffee in the kitchen. Margie, you're going to cut the cake? Yeah, okay. Yes, or the birthday girl will cut the cake. And so please stay for a little bit and have cake and coffee. Really would appreciate. If you don't know someone, please, what do? You walk up and say, hey, my name is, and if you want to shake hands, or if you want to hug, or if you just want to look at them lovingly, we don't care. But let people know who you are. That's the only way we can keep working with you is when we know and appreciate who you are. And especially these two beautiful ladies in the second row, as it were. Michelle and Jen, we want to thank you so much for being here. We really do appreciate it. Thank you so much, and have a great week, okay? Yes. Yay! Thank you. And thank you again, Joan. That was great.